That's better. That's it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Or good, it depends on what time of day it is where you are, but good afternoon, good morning, possibly, good evening, maybe. But wherever you are, hello, and welcome to today's edition of True Temperance International Family Health Show. Your hosts today are myself, Sharon, and
Charlene. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
okay. We hope that you've had a good week. We know that some of you have been continuing with the challenge from last week. And I know that there were testimonies that you have, from the previous week, but also from this week, we had another challenge, which was challenging us big time as the admin team. But before we go into looking at what the challenges are, I mean, your testimonies from the challenges, Shirley's just going to share with everyone listening live on Zoom and on YouTube our disclaimer. So we're just going to share that on screen. And as soon as it's ready, we'll just read that out for you.
Okay, so this is TTI's disclaimer. Only a physician can diagnose, treat, and prescribe for illness or disease. Any information disclosed or discussed on our platform on the TTI Zoom talk show are for educational and informational purposes only. Please continue to seek professional medical advice from your general practitioner regarding any illness or disease you may be suffering from. And thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Shirley. Okay, so today's program is we'll be learning the truth about cancer, and our presenter will be Jason Williams and Dr. Komotso. But before we go into that, let's hear a bit of feedback from yourselves. You're able to unmute, I think. You're able to unmute? No? Okay, we'll have to enable that feature so that if you have anything to let us know about last week's challenge, please let us know how you got on. And just to remind you, the challenge was twofold. This was one that was set by Q. I can't pronounce his name properly. Nkubani. Yeah, I've practiced, but I'm nervous now. I'm nervous. So, Nkubani, could you remind us of the challenge that you set for us this week with regards to our mobile phones, etc.?
Sure. The challenge was simple. It was switch off your most used social media. It was that if you can, switch off all social media on your phone for the week. But if not, if you can't switch off all of it, so for example, you need WhatsApp for communication, just switch off the one that you use the most besides WhatsApp. So if you're a Facebook person, turn that off. If you're an Instagram person, turn that off. And personally, I am on both and on Twitter, so I just deleted the apps on my phone, those 3 apps. That's my testimony for this week, and I didn't log in from any other platform.
Well done, well done. Thank you, Nkubani. For me, one of the things was when I was on WhatsApp, it took me to other things. So if I'd click on something on WhatsApp, it would open up YouTube. Not as if it did it by itself, obviously I did it, but then I'd start to watch and think, no, YouTube, no, I don't think I'm allowed to watch this. So then I'd stop it. And then, but yeah, I got caught out a couple of times. What about anybody else?
Well, I didn't do Instagram for the week. And that is a platform that I use kind of regular when it comes to business and so forth. So I didn't use that for a whole week, and I didn't really miss it. So I just used my WhatsApp way, or I hardly use Facebook. So I kind of went on that. So I deleted the Instagram for the week, because that was the most used for me.
Okay, well done, Shirley. What about anybody else? Does anyone else want to share how they've got on with the challenge? It may be this one, the social media one. For me, apart from YouTube, I don't know if that's really classed as social media, but apart from YouTube, I think I wasn't really struggling with the others. Anyone else? Hello.
Hi, Sharon. This is Tepo Luka, Hadassah's mom.
Hi.
We took on the challenge as a family to get off YouTube for the entire week. Oh, it was torture. So we couldn't watch anything on the tape because we don't have like what you have in South Africa is like DSTV where you watch stuff. So that means we couldn't watch any telly for the entire week. So that was the challenge. We finished it today because we had to watch the sermon. But it was a tough one. But what I love mostly about it is that we had time to read. Like my daughter actually finished her books that she was supposed to read. I had time to sew and just clear my mind. So it's been good. The challenge was awesome. Hard, but also awesome.
Excellent, excellent. That's the testimonies. Those are the testimonies that I like. The difficult ones, because it's real, it's real, it is difficult, but also what you gain from it. Because we are talking about looking after our mind. Last week's presentation was to do with protecting your mind from social media. Anybody else? Akona Salika, are you able to unmute?
Yes, that's me.
Tell us how you say your name.
It's Akona.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I had actually been doing a social media fast from the week before already. And so when the challenge here was brought, I was like, another week. So, I then tried that next week, but it's so amazing how much time we actually have, but we don't realize it because it's a little bit of Facebook here and a little bit of Instagram there. And when you add it all up, all your time is gone and you don't realize where it all went. So I actually even started a business in this time, which is well on the way, I hope. But I believe that God led me to start it. And so that's one. And then I started the lemon pyramid challenge as well. And I must just say, like, I have a huge appetite, but with this lemon challenge, like, I'm practically eating half of what I eat. And I think that's amazing.
Great. Well done, you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Anybody else? Okay, we'll spend possibly maybe one more minute on sharing your testimonies, and then we'll go into today's presentation, because I know it's going to be a packed presentation and you'll probably have some questions afterwards as well. So if there's one more person that would like to share a testimony from their experience with the challenges over this last week.
I'd like to say, I basically would say the same as what. Now, basically, initially, I normally always go on Facebook, and that is just kind of my normal, regular. I was signed up to Instagram, but that was some years ago, and I haven't really been using that. However, when the challenge came, I thought, okay, this is a good opportunity to basically fast from it and just basically take time out. So I what did I do? I think I closed the Facebook account. However, when you close, I just closed it on, as in going to Facebook and just log off. But you can still indirectly get messages, because when you're signed up to Messenger, that was on my phone. So then, as Ngobani says, I completely remove the app from Facebook, because that then disables all notifications. So as the previous sister says, I didn't get her name correctly, I just heard it briefly. It gave me time to focus, because I basically started doing more reading. Supposed to be doing kind of like this homing more into like some course for my work, and it's like distractions that I had, so it gave me time to also focus on that. So yeah, I agree. If you do want to kind of spend more time, it's just actually removing the app. But on the other side, I don't know how I got some indirect message to Instagram, so I kind of went on there, but not that I normally go on there, but then that kind of opened up a new channel again. I started homing on that. So in a way, I did remove myself from there, but then on the plus side, on the downside, I ended up going on Instagram. So I think when you do want to remove yourself, you have to actually remove the apps from your phone completely, because when you do close it off, it just doesn't come off. So yeah, it was a good challenge, and yeah, I think I can do it again, because it gives you time to home and other stuff. So thank you, Ngobani, for the challenge.
Thank you, Simi, for your testimony. It's been a really good week, and I know we could spend a whole show just going through how people have found it, but we've come to the point now where we are going to move over to Brother Jason. And before we move over to him, just to let people, our listeners know, we do have some WhatsApp groups for the men and for the women. We have specific WhatsApp groups where you can join, and we'll keep you encouraged throughout the week. We can give you advice, and it's just a way for you to feel that you're not alone when you're going through the challenges, because we do set a weekly challenge, at least one, sometimes two. Sometimes they carry over from the previous week. It's really entirely up to you, but it's just a way that you can incorporate healthy lifestyle practices into your daily lives. Okay, so if there's anything else, Shirlene, is there anything else we need to say?
No, you said everything, Sharon. You said everything, so it's fine. No, you covered everything.
All right. We also have the YouTube that is running live, and that's also in the link. So we'll keep an eye on both YouTube and the chat room on Zoom, just so that we can see what's happening with regards to any questions, and the admins will try our best to answer if we can on chat as we go along. But for now, sit back, get your pen and paper ready, or whatever form of note-taking you're going to need, and over to Jason Williams, who can tell you a little bit about himself, because for some of you may not have seen him on here before. Jason. Okay, it looks like we might be having a little technical difficulty. So until Jason is available, Shirlene, I'm not going to put you on the spot, don't worry. Could you tell some of our listeners a little bit more about possibly one of the other challenges? Because we've got a whole list of challenges that we've set our listeners throughout the we've been going since May. Just one more challenge.
We've had the no sugar challenge.
That was hard.
Yeah, that was a very big one. So that one, no eating 4 hours beforehand, before you sleep, going to sleep on time, exercise, water, hormone balancing smoothies, and we've had fresh air breathing, deep breathing. I can't remember, Sharon.
That's all right. There's been plenty. We tend to go through the New Start principle, which is nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. We tend to go through there and set challenges according to those different acronyms. But however, Brother Jason is now ready. Sorry, my phone keeps dropping. Forgive me for that. Brother Jason is now ready. So over to you, Jason.
Hello, good afternoon, Sharon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Great stuff. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be able to meet with you on this platform once again. It's been a couple of weeks or so since, or a month or so since I last appeared on here. But we thank the Lord for his mercies and his grace. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic. It's the first part of the series in regards to the truth about cancer. There's the reason why I had to break it up in series, because as you can imagine, it's a deep topic. It's a deep topic, and it's one that is always fresh in the minds of folks. Most of us here, we have had experience with COVID-19 and the effects thereof, social distancing, wearing of the mask and all of that. We've had those experiences, and we have taken cautions because of the reported amount of numbers of folks who are being infected. And it is funny how things are and how the world does things and how the human mind works. That quickly became the headlines, but cancer has been killing far more people. But it's never something that is put up on the top of the headlines, if you know what I mean. There's no information really out there on the daily news telling us what to do to prevent it. Yet it takes thousands of lives every day. You know, if you look at the stats, it is indeed one of those pandemic. Yeah, it's actually one. But again, because the media don't make it such of importance, it is sometimes overlooked until it come knocking on our door, whether through a relative or friend or something, or individually, it comes upon us. Now, today, the presentation that I'll be doing is to kind of share more information on top of what you have, and also perhaps sharing things that you already know. Today, I will not be presenting by myself. I am for all of you who don't know me, and you who do know me, I work in the wellness clinic in South Africa. Wamkemani Institute of Wellness is where we are. I am the director. My colleague, Dr. Kamoso, is the resident physician. She will be presenting with me today a little bit more on what we do here for those of you who are first-time listeners. We are integrative practice here. That's what we run, meaning we use the conventional system for diagnosing, like as you can see behind me here, this is one of our machines. This is a ultrasound. Directly behind me, behind the computer, which you cannot see, there's another machine there. And so what we use these things for, we use it to find out what is wrong with you medically, so we can follow your case and follow the disease progress. We use different blood tests from labs such as Lancet. So we don't have a device that we put on your hands or your fingers and they give us an electronic reading, and we come up with, we have strict blood tests that we can follow according to the science thereof. That's what we do here. But when it comes to treatment, our treatment approach and our management approach, we don't use conventional medicine. We don't go down the line of drug. That is never our first route. It is something that we can do, and we do it at times, if a patient comes in and they have a particular condition, they're on certain medication, because we understand the time period, what they've been on that medication are, and also what that medication is doing and how that medication, we sometimes have to gradually wean them off. Some medication, we can take them off immediately as we understand what it's doing and we have an alternative. But when it comes to certain things, like if we're taking some medication to control the brain because of epilepsy and stuff like that, we have to wean them off, because the minute you take them off, because of how the medication works, the electricity goes funny and they'll be in a seizure again. So what we do with that knowledge and that background, we take our...
Sorry, Jason, you're on mute. You've been muted by accident, I think.
All right,
There
can you hear me again?
Yes, thank you.
Right. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So we have a very comprehensive system of approach in how we deal with maladies here in our clinic. We have people from all over South Africa and different countries within Africa, also folks from overseas that come here trying to seek help, and we do the best we can. We do not claim to heal nobody. That is not what we do. Our philosophy is the body has been created with its own healing mechanism, and because of lifestyle, diet, environmental factors, sometimes those systems don't work so well. And all we do in our center is to help unimpede the system so it can carry on its work of healing. That's what we do, but we do not claim to heal no one. Today, as I share the information with you, I want you to take note. We will be having a challenge at the end of it that myself and Dr. Kamoso will present to you for you to be able to put in practice in regards to the topic that we... Hello, can you hear me again?
Yes,
Okay.
Jason. Yeah.
All right, there's something going on there, hosts. I'm getting muted by host, but I don't know how comes. All right, so that's me telling you a bit about myself. Here is Dr. Kamoso. She will also share with you a bit about who she is and what we do here at our clinic. And Dr. Kamoso, our new audience.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone across the world. As Jason has said, I'm Kamoso Louisa Mohapi. I'm the medical doctor here, and I work with Jason doing all those things that he mentioned. And yes, I think that's all I have to say for now. We can get into the topic. It's quite extensive. Speaking about cancer, and so it'll be divided up. And whether you have cancer or you don't, this is a session for you, because we know that prevention is better than cure. But if you do have it, as Jason has said, there are different mechanisms that the body has. It's just that they have failed. And I think we'll go into more details about that. I am a qualified medical doctor, but I have embraced this way of working with the body as opposed to applying ourselves in a harsh manner onto the body.
All right, thank you, Doc. Admin, at this point, I'm going to ask you to permit me to be able to share my screen. Hopefully this time it will work. The last time others took it over. Let's see what happened today. Can I go ahead and share my screen? Admin?
Yes, it should be fine, Jason. You should be co-host, so it should be absolutely fine.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. All right, is my screen shared?
Yes, we can see your screen, Jason. You're muted though.
Take me off mute. All right. Where's my link? Okay. Let me see if I can pull up. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sharon?
Yeah, loud and clear, Jason.
All right, great stuff. Sorry about that, guys. We are having a little bit of technical difficulty here on my side. 1 second, though. I promise you it will be sorted in a second. 1 second. Let me just close something. All right. You can hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Look, the following presentation that we'll be presenting here, the following presentation present principles designed to promote good health and is not intended to take the place of personalized professional health care advice. Okay. The opinion and ideas. Sorry, guys, my screen is doing this thing again. I don't know why. Okay. And you can't see it, guys, but on my screen, there's a block up, that's the pop-up that just keep blocking my screen. It says the opinion and ideas expressed are that of the presenter. Listeners are encouraged to draw their own conclusion about the opinions and ideas expressed. Our presentation is not here to take away that which your medical advice or medical professional advice is saying, okay? But we are sharing it as education. The truth about cancer. When you use the word truth, when you use the word truth, it instigates the word false. Yeah, when we say truth, naturally is false. Today, however, what we are saying or what we are instigating, there is truth and there's more truth. Okay, so we're going at a deeper level. Some of the things that you probably have held as preconceived ideas, well, as we present, as we know to be truth, maybe you find that, wow, I didn't quite understand it, or it wasn't so. All right. Yeah, these are the topics that we will be looking at. Okay. These are some of the topics that we'll be looking at today. This is our basic outline. What is cancer? What causes cancer? Cancer and the immune system. And because in South Africa, okay, in South Africa, and I believe also in England, it is Breast Cancer Month. I figured, why not just touch briefly on breast cancer to conclude this presentation after telling you what it is, what causes it, and how the immune system works. We will look at breast cancer briefly. For females, if you have friends, loved ones who are females and who are not on this group at this point, use this time. I won't be talking about breast cancer immediately now, but use this time to send a link around and tell them to join. This information is very important. I believe it can be very important to some women out there. Many years ago, you know, when I first started doing this work, I think I was not to tell you my age now, but I was a bit younger. All right. I used to see so many folks with cancer, and I remember doing a course with a medical missionary. His name was Mayman Wilson, and I was seeing so many cancers of all different types, but also I was seeing that people who were given a death sentence or who were told that they have 3 months to live, they were living long beyond that time. And so I became very intrigued into what to do and how to do it in regards to helping folks with cancer, how to take away the fear of this diagnosis. And so I spent a lot of time working with it. I used to work I've done work in the UK, I've done work in in the US. I did a lot of work in the island of Grenada, and other Caribbean islands round and about, in regards to this cancer. Now, most of the patients that normally come to myself is folks that the doctor already given them the write-off note, or have said, look, there is nothing we can do for you. Rather, go home and make peace with it. You know, so they normally come to us at what you call stage 4 or terminally ill. All right. And we have had success. And sometimes we are not so successful. As I said, we don't take the glory nor the claim that we heal nobody. But I believe once we unimpede the immune system and find the cause of that cancer, the body can do a good job in repairing the situation, or start the process of healing. Okay, so today I will just share with you some experience and some knowledge in regards to that. So what is cancer? Okay, let me make sure my screen is able to go down. It is not. Okay. Okay, about 5. Okay. So what is cancer? Hippocrates was the father of medicine, and that's what he's known for. He was the first one to use the word cancer to describe tumors. Cancer is derived from the Greek word, originally derived from Greek word called karkinos, okay, which means crab. And you can see from the picture down below on your left-hand side, you see a crab. And if you look on the right-hand side, you see somewhat similarity, especially with the legs spreading out. And that is where it is said that the name cancer comes from, okay, because it has similar appearance to a crab, okay. That's just me giving you the name. Cancer is a generic term for a large group of diseases that can affect any part of the body. All right. Now, you have heard cancer of this part of the body, cancer of the breast, of the brain, of the chest, and they all have different names because of how they affect and where they're affecting. So they have different name. Okay. It is not the first time I'm speaking of cancer, but this first I'm going into a cancer series. I've spoken about cancer in regards to male prostate cancer, and it will also come up within this series with more details. Okay, so cancer is a generic term for a large group of disease that can affect any part of the body. Other terms used is malignant tumor or neuroplasm. One defining feature of cancer is the rapid creation of abnormal cells that grow beyond their usual boundaries, and which can then invade adjoining parts of the body and spread to other organs. Okay, the latter process is referred to as metastasizing and metastasis, okay, are a major cause of death from cancer. The truth is, if a cancer is in one place, localized, it's not really that bad. Okay, they stage them because of how rapid they're growing and how they're spreading. By the time you get, anytime if you ever hear somebody say, or the doctor say, you're at stage 4 in cancer, that means the cancer has spread. It's gone beyond its localized boundaries. It's moving, and they will tell you where else in the body it is moved to. Okay, that's what metastasis does. That's what it means. Okay, that's what causes organs to fail. In my experience in working with cancers, what I've noticed is it's hard to say what causes death. Really, it's really hard to say, especially when they come to us with stage 4. We can't look. The truth of the matter is, right, we can see the cancer there, and the cancer is perfectly fine, but it's everything else that's failing. All right, mainly I would say most cancer patients die from heart. Their heart stop, because one of the uniform things that we see with all of our patients is that regardless of where the cancer is, their heart rate become way too high, or it becomes very low, which you know what a heart attack is. And so the cancer causes other changes in the body, and it has a domino effect that affect health. Okay. Cancer is caused by a transmission of normal cells into tumor cells. Okay. In other words, the cells change from their normal shape, size, and it take on a different shape. Okay. Multi-stage process. In a multi-stage process, the general processing from a precancerous lesion to a malignant tumor says these changes are triggered result of interaction between persons' genetics, factors, and 3 categories of external agents. Now, what that is saying that genetics play a part, but outside of genetics, there are other factors, okay? And we will look at a few of them. Okay, now we spoke about normal cells and cancer cells. That's a picture there. Hope you all can see it. You got the normal cell on your right side, and you got our cancer cells. As you can see, they've changed shape. All right, so they're looking a bit distorted and rough around the edges. And the normal one, it looks nice and uniform and so on. So it is the cells starting to lose its integrity, and the way how they function, it start changing. They multiply quite a bit. Some of the external things are physical carcinogens, such as you have heard of skin cancer, ultraviolet rays, ionizing radiation, stuff like that. You have external factors, you have chemical factors, the carcinogenic, that is chemicals, such as asbestos. We know that one is a building material. And all these, how they affect the body, the cancers they cause, okay, they have specific name, okay? Things like tobacco, smoking, and all that, drinking, those, they have their effect upon the body. And certain contaminants in food, such as arsenic in water and so on, those things are carcinogenic. That is things that can cause cancer. Or biological carcinogens, such as infections and virus, bacteria, parasite, etc. Those can also lead to cell damage that can, in the long run, lead to cancer. So you can get a virus now, even the coronavirus, for example, a flu virus, or certain bacteria like the HPV bacteria. All these things, they can actually cause cellular change that goes unrecognized, and in time they actually form a cancerous tumor in the body. So these are just some external factors, okay? And then we have other factors, things like diabetes, sedentary lifestyle. These are things that can all be pulled into what causes changes or cancer in the body. Weakened immune system, we will look at that more. Now, let me say this. All of these, that green things that you're seeing there with words in there, we can go into any one of them and take an hour or two in regards to how they affect the body. So I'm just sharing with you so you can take a picture of it or look at it and say, wow, all of that stress, insomnia? Yes, all of those things can contribute. I don't believe that there is no one cause for cancer. First of all, I want to make you understand that. You know, like somebody say, oh, it's because of this, or it's because of that. I think it's multiple factors that causes those changes, all right? And I will share more with you as I go down into the immune system. So all these things, some pharmaceutical drugs can cause that. Toxicity, acidity, poor diet, nutritional deficiency, macro deficiency, supplements like minerals and stuff, all those deficiencies can cause a problem in the body. And how does that happen? Well, if your body needs it and it doesn't have it, okay, then that's a problem. There's a gap. You know, it's like building a brick wall and then missing a brick, taking one of the brick out, then that wall is a bit weaker than if all the bricks were in place. So not having the right nutrients in place, that open you up. Now, most of you, we're eating food, right? We're eating certain food, right? We don't even know what we're putting in our bodies. You know, most of us, when we eat, we just eat. Okay. A lot of us now, we want to become vegetarians, and that is a better way. But a lot of us saying, well, I'm vegetarian, why am I getting sick? Well, the food is got a form of nutrients, but the nutrients is not really there. So you're eating cabbage, for example, that is supposed to have a lot of phytochemicals, but it doesn't have it. Now, if you don't have another way of putting it in your system, then your body will sooner or later become deficient of it. And that's why a part of our practice and how we work, we like to look at your nutritional profile through a proper consultation and see where there is a gap based on our understanding of dietetics, food, and how they function within the body. And then we are able to say, right, we think you need some vitamin this, because according to your dietary, you're not getting it. One of the things that we do say, I must say, let me pause for a second. I notice a lot of people who make dietary changes, but they do it without knowing what they are supposed to do. And they move from one stage of sickness to another stage of sickness. Normally what happens, a diet change, especially when you're on a eat anything toxic diet, almost any diet change will bring you immediate relief, whether it's dropping some weight or feeling a bit better. Yes, you will get that. But as you go on, because you're lacking nutrients, you will start seeing that you're becoming sick. Little things will start popping up here and there, and your system is getting weak. Okay, so when you make a change from one diet, and I'm stressing on that because it's one of the things that I know that most of us do. Okay, we all eat. All right, and one of the things is, if we are making the dietary change, if we're gonna say, well, I want to eat better to live longer and have a healthier life, you need to understand that, yes, for example, is it the Banton diet? A lot of people make those changes, they lose weight, they feel better, and it's applaud. Yeah, this diet is great. But when you look at the diet, when you understand nutrition and dietetics, you look at that is a very incomplete diet. As a matter of fact, it's quite injurious to your health. Again, also the blood type diet, when you look at it and you understand that, what do you mean eat right for your blood type? When you understand the science behind it and the rationale behind it, then you will understand that, oh, the reason why I feel better when I don't eat this is because, when you understand it, is because the body was trying to show you that you need to fix up. Instead of fixing up, we just take out the food so we don't feel the effect of it, when in fact the food was telling you that, no, your body needs to fix up. All right, so we accommodate the condition rather than fixing the condition. All right, so yeah, that's me just straying a bit. So all of these that you're seeing here is got some issue. Cancer and immunity. I'm going to let Dr. Kamoso come in with me on this one. It's unrehearsed, by the way. All right, we're just doing it. Most of our presentation we don't rehearse them. We don't sit down and go over them and stuff. That it is real. It is real because we work together. We understand this is what we do. We don't need to worry about, we're on the same page. As the Bible says, can two walk together unless they agree? Well, at least we agree on this. Cancer and immunity, Doc. You wanna?
Well, before you get to cancer and immunity, I really would like to explain more about the cell itself. As you said in the previous slide, that as he said, I'm not talking to Jason. As he said in the previous slide, that cancer is a disease of the cell. The cell is not just random in how it functions. The cell is the cell is not random in how it functions. Cells are born, okay, then they grow, they work, just like any of us. They divide, so they are fruitful, and they multiply so that there's more of them to do the work. And then those other ones die. They're supposed to be able to divide about 40 to 60 times. And then they go through a process of death. Now, before they go through this whole cycle, there are phases. There are what we call cell cycle checkpoints. There are points at which a cell is supposed to stop and check whether it should continue to the next point. So from when it was working, before it divides, this is G1 checkpoint, the cell is supposed to say, all right, should I divide? That is the important thing. And how does it make the decision to divide? Well, it's going to take its cue from its internal. Do I have everything that I need to divide? Is my DNA correct? Do I have enough nutrients to be able to divide? Am I supported? You know, cells, thing about healthy cells is they don't grow in isolation. They need to be in touch with other cells and grounded and have a supportive framework, well, except the red blood cells, obviously, as you can understand. So the cell will use that, but it will also use external cues. Do I have, am I getting growth hormones? Something stimulating me to grow. So those are normal cells. If the cell discovered does not have enough nutrients and therefore energy to continue replication, or it does not have, there's damage to the DNA, it will stop. So it will not go through to the process of cell division. These are important checkpoints. We want to show you that you don't just randomly get cancer, okay? There are mechanisms in your body to stop all of that. If the cell decides to go into division, even at the level of division, it will have a checkpoint, G2 checkpoint. It will say, okay, did I divide correctly, or were there any errors in my, because the process of division is to share information, the DNA, the genetic material. Did I divide correctly so that I gave the right DNA, the right instructions for each of my daughter cells to be able to be born, to grow, to do their function? Remember, cells are not just there to have a party in your body, they have a function to perform, and that information comes in your genetic material. So if there's any damage to the DNA, the cell will pause and say, okay, daughter cells, don't go on to multiply. Let's fix the damage that has happened. Let's repair any kind of errors. Let's do any kind of corrections. And if the damage, here's the interesting part, if the damage is irreparable, the cell is supposed to undergo cell death, apoptosis. This is like cell suicide, to say it should not continue to multiply. So we're just showing you that there are inbuilt mechanisms to stop us from making cells that are damaged and cells that are genetically abnormal, because those are cancer cells. So daily, you and I today, exposed to the sun, exposed to whatever is going around, if it has affected our genetic material, our cells should have had regulators that say, no, stop, don't go any further. So what happens when we get cancer? Some of these regulators do not work. All right, something goes wrong, and especially because these regulators are protein. This is some of the things we need to understand when we start introducing animal proteins into our body. That's why, you know, even viruses can interfere. So anything that affects the regulators, those guys who keep the checkpoint to check and say, okay, there's an error here, let's stop, is going to cause us to have cancer. If a cell is not able to also commit suicide, that's going to be a problem. This is where the immune system comes in, all right? Where those internal checkpoints, if something goes wrong with those internal checkpoints, and then the immune system, which is responsible for looking at your cells and seeing that your cells are the way they're supposed to be, if they recognize that there is a cancer cell, there's what you call your natural killer cells, okay? They're supposed to come in and just eat up the cell that refuses to commit suicide because it recognizes it as a danger to the whole body. So that's where the immune system comes in. So cancer then is a manifestation of a malfunctioning immune system because the checkpoints failed, those are internal issues, and then now the external factors are failing, which is your immune system, which is supposed to have recognized that this cell is all wrong and it does not belong, it's not doing its function, it's actually just taking nutrients, it's multiplying out of control, it's not meeting the requirements, it is disobedient to the laws of health. So cancer is a manifestation of malfunctions in immunity. And these are what we call the malignant cells. They have a way of escaping and not being caught and not being eaten and not being destroyed by the immune system. So hence we say that cancer is a failure of the immune system. Yes, Jay.
Okay. Before you said they have a way of doing it, and what that is, the body is intelligent. The body is wonderfully made. What, from my research and what I understand, You see, the reason why they escape is not because the immune system is dumb.
It's not that it's blind.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's but sometimes because the immune system become so overwhelmed by what we're putting on our skin, what we're drinking,
The sugar.
the immune system is suppressed and overworked trying to deal with
All other issues.
all of these things. I mean, can you imagine now? Here comes a little cell that it's gone off. The immune system is like a spider, for example. One hand is holding this one, and then this one is over there. It's so busy, you know. So it escape,
Yes.
so to speak.
And so it continues to multiply
Yes.
while your immune system is dealing with the coronavirus. Your immune
Mhm.
system is dealing with the fact that you ate 6 donuts and there's an overload of sugar. Your
Mhm.
immune system is is fixing up the body. The immune system is not working properly because we're not sleeping right. So all of these things hamper the immune system. It's like some things are opportunistic. So those cancer cells will escape, as we said. Every one of us today, as division has occurred in our body, probably something has gone wrong internally. If your immune system is overwhelmed, it's suppressed, it's not working, then that's why we say cancer is a malfunction of the immune system, even if you have the adequate immune cells. Okay. So as you can see on the slide, as we also say that if you have chronic infections, because chronic infections are going to keep your immune system working. Remember that your immune system then is in defense mode as opposed to repair mode and as opposed to cleanup mode. So if it's constantly dealing with infections and inflammation, remember, inflammation is not only just caused by infections. A lot of the things that we eat, the chemicals that we put in cause toxins in our body, will cause inflammation in our body. And I don't know if we're going to talk about this today. If you've ever heard us speak about the 7 stages of disease, inflammation is at stage 4 and cancer is at stage 7. So if you're constantly, going through that level, that's why we speak about things like diabetes and high blood pressure, because those are level 4 kind of diseases, stage 4. Then we are moving towards having cancer. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
okay.
Speaking of which, as Doc is saying, you don't just, look, I always say, you don't just get cancer when the doctor pronounced the diagnosis. Most cancers take 10 to 15, 20 years to develop in the body. That cell that breaks off and go and find a cell, it takes that time. Now, you might be saying, yeah, Jay, but I've seen young people with cancer. Yes, you have, because of their lifestyle, their genetics, the food and condition, especially in young born kids. When they come out and they have a real type of cancer, that is coming from changes within the mother's body that came out in that child. That child didn't just get cancer when they just came out. No, that change took place from within the mother. Perhaps the mother was on a bad diet, or the mother had some funny things going on. It is then transmitted to that child. And so you have childhood cancer, you have young teenagers, you have this rare one. They have triggers. Again, environmental, genetics, and chemical. All of those things are triggers. Now, in average, most of us, this screen that you're looking at now is the stage. I've put attention, okay? Signs of disease. One of the first things that normally happen, and this is not coming away from the cancer topic, is just to give you now information, the truth about what's going on. Enervation is the first stage that you're getting sick. Okay, in other words, you don't have energy. You've even slept, or you can't wake up. You're oversleeping. It's a sign that things are wrong. At this stage, there ain't no cancer. No test is going to pick up no cancer, unless, of course, it's a stage 4. But at this stage, this start happening from when you're going to school, from eating and drinking at the same time and not digesting food properly. If you want to understand a little bit here, Doc, if you want to understand digestion, yeah, take an apple, take a piece of bread, and take some milk and stuff, and just masticate it and put it down for a couple of hours, a couple of days, and you'll see what happens. It begins to rotten and spoil. It becomes very toxic. It happens in our body, but our body's got system to deal with those toxins. But when those toxins don't leave the body, Are you with me? When they don't leave the body, they create congestion and blockage and burden on the system. That leads to something called enervation, the first sign that your energy levels are not right. You can talk about toxemia and so on and so forth.
All right. So and one of this lack of energy, remember, it's at a cellular level. Your cells have power plants in there where energy is made. So if there's congestion and there's a blockage, your cells are not able to make this kind of energy. Now, if this is not corrected, and a lot of us don't correct innovation, what do we do when we've got innovation? We take more coffee, we drink more fizzy drinks, those more energy drinks. Yes, those energy boosters. And those are toxic. We take more sugar, more. So we move to the next level, which is toxemia, where we're increasing our toxic buildup, and therefore we'll have highs because of what we've taken in, but then we'll have crashes as well. So toxins are building up in your body. Then after that, we continue to do more. You're like, oh, I feel tired all the time. You're eating junk because even when you try to eat food, you just feel tired after meals. So you then add more toxins. You move to the level of irritation, where you're getting flare-ups, you're getting itchy skin,
your body is giving you
rash. Yes,
real. It's irritating.
It's irritating.
You're not you can put your finger on what's happening. I've got pain here. Things are happening.
Yeah,
things are happening.
And that's just the toxins. Your body, these are your warning systems. Your body is trying to tell you that I'm full of toxins, and it's trying to find a way to alert you. But what do a lot of us do when we get to the stage of irritation, when we've got skin rashes and we've got allergic reactions or whatever? We will take things like your antihistamines, and we'll take the allergics. A lot of people, this is the part where they take allergics. So we're taking more drug medication. Remember, we said that toxins can cause damage to the cells, which is leading to cancer. Now we're adding junk food, which adds more damage to your cells. And then we add drug medication, which also damages the body. And at this point, you may also be getting infections, viral infections, which also, so do you see how your mechanisms get to be overwhelmed? So from irritation, then you move to level 4. Level 4 is inflammation. By the way, from enervation and toxemia and irritation, when you go to your doctor, they'll be like, well, we don't know what's wrong with you. Get some rest. Yeah. But it's not identified as the fact that your body is toxic. I've been finding it very strange. In the past couple of weeks, you've been seeing a lot of patients. They come here with CT scans and chest and x-rays, abdominal x-rays, and it shows that they have fecal loading. And you ask them, what did your doctor do about it? Nothing. They saw that there was fecal loading. There was toxins in the physical body that you can actually do. But we don't think about that as a cause for the disease that a patient has. And one of the first things we do is remove toxins because we understand the harm. Anyway, I was digressing. Inflammation, this is the body's most intense effort to cleanse. This is where you feel heat and pain and headaches, and you get diagnosed with tonsillitis, arthritis, all these inflammatory conditions that you have. You have body aches and pains because your body is trying to burn the toxins because all other mechanisms have failed.
But it's not leaving.
But it's not leaving the body.
So it finds safe place. You understand? And that's normally in your joints. And those are safe. So in other words, rather than storing that waste or that undesired in your liver or in your kidney or somewhere in one of those vital organs, it's stored in your joint. So you see, inflammation in that way, God, is not your enemy.
No,
it's your friend. It's a warning sign that you need to fix up now. If the inflammation is of a certain nature, it can cause what you call an autoimmune condition, where the immune system kind of attack itself. And that's where you get the itis, the isms. Anytime they finish with itis and ism, rheumatitis, okay, arthritis, meningitis, those are inflammatory condition, okay, inflammation in the body. Now, you can stay in years in a condition like this. You can 10, 20 years and take medication, all right? But it was just your body giving you a warning sign that something's wrong. But you know what is even more important, though? And I want you all to listen to this, yeah? This is something. Many folks, yeah, and I've seen it, they come here, bam, they got cancer. Okay, what was wrong with you before you had cancer? They swear. They said since the day I never drink, I never smoke, and nothing, never. I done nothing wrong. What do you mean? No, Jay, you don't understand. I've never been sick in my life. I don't know where this thing has come from. You know what that happened? What happened? Once a patient sit down and they start saying, I've never been sick, no fever, nothing. I don't know what that is. We know that there's a big surprise coming. You know why? Because the immune system has never been alerted. In other words, the immune system the red light is off. Everything is running past. No warning. You understand? When a virus invaded their body, it did not spike an immune response. When a bacteria was doing nothing. So you might be saying, well, I'm 50 old, I've never been sick. Well, I'm listening. Because you're supposed to. You live in a world where we're bombarded. You know, to get a cold or a little flu once a year and your body burn through it, is actually a good thing. Because it's actually your immune system has been stimulated, is learning, and is preparing you. You know, when you have never been, I have never had a cold. I'm like, well, we'll see, because it's going to turn to another issue in time to come. So what am I saying here? You know, it's when you get a little flu or something like that, your immune system is supposed to rise to that challenge. But if your system is overburdened and your immune system is suppressed, you will end up with a condition without any warning. And that is normally a surprise, and it just goes crazy at that point.
You mentioned something. Jason said that a lot of people can stay in the state of inflammation for a while. You know, now remember we said that cancer is if your immune system is busy dealing with inflammatory issues, those few cancer cells that come up, this is what we mean. If for 20 years you've got an inflammatory condition, your immune system will miss those cells that it was supposed to kill because it's busy dealing with this inflammatory condition. So you want to get, we're not supposed to be in a state of chronic inflammation. Inflammation is supposed to be acute, as we said. You get a viral infection, your body rises to the challenge, deals with it, bam, 5-7 days, you know, and then that's done. Anything beyond that is subacute and acute, and it's not supposed to happen. It shows that something is not right.
These are signs that you need to know. That's why we said we call it the truth about cancer, because people are afraid of cancer, but there's so much things that lead up to it. You know, another thing, Doc, I don't mean to pick on nobody in particular in terms of gender. One of the signs for women, women normally have beautiful, soft skin. When things don't look beautiful and soft no more, what's the first thing they do? Makeup. You plowed your face in this thing. Listen, when you start doing that, you are suppressing your immune system in a way that you're going to regret. Okay? If you have a very strong immune system and very good genetic, you will wean it off for a while. But, you know, the curse causeless shall come. You know, shall come. It will happen. It will show up somewhere down the line in another way. Don't when your body, when your face here and things start showing funny on your skin, it is your body telling you that you need to fix up inside here. It's the red light. Okay, if you fix this, this will clear up. And if you use that as a marker, you will be healthy, because the minute this clears naturally, then you know things are very right. But the minute you cover it with a makeup and stuff, hey man, you got things that you're hiding, and they're gonna show up sooner or later somewhere else in the body. Yes, you want to say?
We will move on. We were talking earlier about a book that I read from a cancer survivor, and it's called When Beauty Kills. And I think, Charlene, you've done a topic on this, on the dangers of beauty products, because they have a lot of, it's not just normal toxins. These are toxins that have been shown to be carcinogenic, you know, cancerous. So they will cause cancer. So to the ladies out there, let's consider saving money by not using makeup while your skin is still good. Do the necessary changes, or if you really are into makeup, let's start finding healthy alternatives.
Mhm.
You know, but remember, your skin condition is a reflection of what is happening internally. Let's move
on
to stage 5 and 6 before we get to stage 7.
Mhm. Ulceration. This is when you have well, it's supposed to be that way. All right. So ulceration is when your body creates a hole. Like if you got an ulcerative colitis or you know a patch coming up on your body that is not healing. Ulcers, a sore in or outside the body is the body's way, to put it in very layman term, is the body's way of trying to use or creating a hole to get rid of toxins in the body. Okay. Then obviously, if there's a hole, the body's automatic response is to what? Close it up. Okay. So now you have induration, where the body creates its own system of stopping the leakage of toxin, because it's not supposed to have a hole. So the body creates, and so this way you have what you call benign or hardened little lumps and bumps coming up on your body wherever, which are not cancerous, by the way. It's encapsulation or holding the toxins in a lump so it doesn't spread all over your body. Okay, as toxin, it becomes a rubbish bin, built-in rubbish bin in your body, if that makes more sense. But that is not cancer. That's when you will go and you say, hey, doc, I've got a lump here or a bump here. And when they do a little biopsy or check it out, they say, hey, it's non-cancerous. All right. That's what that is. That's induration. But cancers is the 7th stage. Doc, you can introduce us and then I'll carry on.
All right. So we always like to define what disease is, because a lot of people think that disease is something that's trying to kill you, and therefore we must kill it before it kills us. Isn't that what we think about cancer? We think cancer is this thing that has come to kill me, so let me just quickly kill it with chemotherapy and radiation therapy before it kills me. But our understanding of disease is that it is a work that is done by your own body. So it's an effort of nature to free your body systems from the condition that resulted because we violated the laws of health. I'm hoping that makes sense. So your body says, I need to free this system because laws of health, we didn't eat right, we didn't exercise, we didn't drink water, we put toxins in, so we violated the laws of health. So disease is the effort of your body to free itself from that, okay? So then what do you need to do in the case of disease? Because this is nature doing its work. Well, in cases of sickness, don't kill the sickness. Ascertain the cause. That's number one. Find out why. Why do I have this thing? And we have to say this because a lot of people, the first thing they're going to ask is, what herb can I drink? But that's not the question you should be asking. The first question is why? Find the cause. Number two, change unhealthful conditions. Remember that disease is going to continue as long as the unhealthful conditions are being given.
Even if you take meds or herbs, right?
Exactly. You know, so you're busy drinking milk thistle, but you're guzzling marshmallows and fizzy drinks into your body. Unhealth. So ascertain the cause, change the unhealthful conditions. Correct the wrong habits. That's what we do with, especially the challenges that we did at the beginning. We were creating good habits. And then you see a step number 4, nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel the impurities and to reestablish the right conditions in the body. That is the method. But as a medical doctor, this is not what I was trained to do. As a medical doctor, once I made a diagnosis that you've got, we're talking about cancer today, it's how do I get this cancer lump out? And we have to say that we've had patients, they come, you know, once the cancer has been removed, they don't change anything about their lifestyle because, oh, I had bowel cancer. Now that lump has been removed, the doctor has said all the margins are clear. I don't longer have cancer, so I'm cancer free. But cancer is a disease of the entire system.
All right. Now, when you pass those stages, the end point of this whole development, okay, you know, the innovation, toxemia, and all of that, if they go unchecked, that's why we recommend that you do a cleanse. One of the way I look at detox program is the interruption of disease. Yeah, that's why we reckon that you must just take a 10 days or 5 days or whatever and interrupt the process. Make sure you do everything. You clean out, you nourish, and you allow some time for healing. Okay, so right now we have our websites. I don't know, we'll put it on the group. We for those of you in South Africa, that is, we do our detox program, and I'm sure for those in England, they also have detox program. We recommend that the kind of detox we do, you can do them all the time, because we're not really interfering with your system per se, we're just supporting it. So we reckon that, you know, every quarter, every 3 months or so, do a detox program. Stop eating the food that you normally eat, even if you're eating a healthy diet. Stop, give your system a rest, clean it out, then re-nourish it, okay? Because when the stages get to a certain point and the development carry on through innervation, toxemia, irritation, inflammation, induration, all of those, when all those stages have gone through, the body lose control of certain cell function. And that when they start to multiply, the system that Doc was telling you about, when that the toxins become, the body literally lose control, and the cells that have a death life, they don't die, they continue to grow, continue to grow, continue to grow, and that create a situation. Now, you can arrest the condition. Disease of all manner, even cancer, can be arrested and reversed depending on the severity and the discipline of the person, okay, of that cancer. All right, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that everybody can be healed. I don't think that is even a reasonable statement. Okay, I think disease can be prevented, but after certain damage is done, I don't know if everybody can be healed, and that's the truth. All right, now if one is diligent and things are working fine and you manage to get it right, yes, with a diligent effort, good progress can take place, healing can take place. But I'm going to tell you as it is from our experience, whilst we're not controlling the hands of God, sometimes when you look at certain damages done to certain organs, we look at it and we're like, only the Lord can help. It doesn't mean we won't try to help, but we know that in any case, this one, according to our human understanding and our eyes, like somebody chop off both of your hands and you're trying to grow your hands back. We're like, the Lord can do it. we know he can, but you know, according to our humanness, we don't see the hands coming back. It's not a lack of faith, but it's understanding how the body works. Sometimes we see certain damage done, we think hard. Okay, the problem with cancer, cancer is a leading cause of death worldwide. As I was saying earlier, we have heard about the COVID-19 and it just came to the headline. But cancer has been doing that kind of thing every day for a long time, been killing thousands and thousands of people a day. But nobody is putting the importance of reducing this. And this is an industry. It's a very, very, very powerful industry. When you get diagnosed with cancer, okay, there have been many out there that have been diagnosed that they don't know better, and they feed into an industry that sends you to your doctor, then send you to the oncologist, then send you under chemotherapy, radiation, and operation. All right, those are the three main treatments out there. Cancer is one of the leading cause of death worldwide. Even today, it's one of the leading cause of death when you understand and look at it. Now, diabetes is coming up very close, but cancer is affecting people more now than ever. One, you could say, well, it's because we have better diagnosis. People can find out better. Maybe that's true. And yeah, I'm sure it's true somewhat. But the truth of the matter is lifestyle and diet have changed worldwide. Industrialization of things have changed things. We don't now eat and live a natural life. We live a very superficial life and very toxic life. Okay, so the most common cancers, lung cancer worldwide. This is a stat I got from the World Health Organization early on as I was researching. Lung cancer is taking 2.9 million cases every year. All right. Breast cancer. Now, female, remember I said it is that month when you're supposed to be looking at that pink ribbon. I don't really understand it, but that pink ribbon suggests it's time to look at that. It's doing the same as lung cancer. Okay, so breast cancer is right up there. Colorectal cancer, prostate cancer is quite high as well. Skin cancer, we know, and stomach cancer. But the main two, which is basically you can interchange the first two, breast cancer or lung cancer, because they're pretty much killing the same amount of people every year. Okay, so breast cancer for females, is a serious problem. Again, male, this topic is not about too much of a male thing. We're gonna give this time for female cancer, which is the breast cancer, but we will be looking at colorectal cancer and prostate cancer in time to come. But today we're gonna zoom in to breast cancer. Okay, so this is the problem with cancer. A lot of people are dying, and almost all of us know somebody who have succumbed to cancer. Here's a question. You can put the answer in the chat. Listen carefully, yes? How many of you know somebody who died from cancer that never took medication, that never took treatment? Okay, no chemo, no radiation, no surgery. How many folks do you know die from cancer? As a matter of fact, they say, and this is the research that's done, most people who don't even go for the treatment normally live longer than those who do. When you take certain treatment, the reason why you survive is probably because you would have survived anyway with better health and better quality of life. Because the treatment, when you understand the importance of your white blood cells, you understand that one of the main treatment, it kills your immune system, and the other one destroy your system. All right. So this question is, how many of us know somebody who died of cancer who never took any treatment, yet they died? Okay, you can put your answer in the bar. We're gonna zoom in on breast cancer a little bit, and then we'll close off.
All right.
Okay, breast cancer.
Yeah, just one more thing about cancer. For those people who do get the surgery, and get the cancer removed, because you know, people then go back to their lifestyle. We've seen that. We've seen people who have helped in that regard. Remember, by that time, what's happened is that your checkpoints are not working, yeah, and the cancer gene has been switched on. So then it just simply means that new cancer cells will form, even though those ones have been removed, especially if then the environment is encouraging. So what you want to do, if you've been in a very fortunate position to have the cancer, the lump, the grown one, the visible one removed, and you want to have a better survival rate, is you want to upregulate your immune system. You want to create an environment where cancer cells do not thrive, but your immune system is able to work so that it can pick up the few cancer cells that are lurking around and do a work of dealing with them. So I just thought that was important to highlight, because of some of the patients we were successful in treating about a year or two ago, who then went home very well, but did not continue with the lifestyle. And then the cancer, it seems to come back, but that's because the environment was allowed for the cancer to continue thriving.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset. What folks need to understand is, listen, yeah, I've got cancer, or my parents got cancer, or my loved ones got cancer. What brought them there? Now, you found out it's diet, lifestyle, external environmental chemicals. What do? You stop them. You stop them, then you help build your system back. Now look, let me say this, yeah? Let me say this. I don't agree with chemotherapy. Okay? I believe also that nutrition alone, when the body is broken to a certain point, I don't think nutrition alone can pull you out. Some folks, what they do is they reject chemo and they say, well, let me start eating healthy. The time for eating healthy is gone. That's just an addition now. Damage is done. It's more than just eating healthy at this point. It's a whole lifestyle change. It's a mental detoxification. There's so much that needs to happen when your body is in stage 4 cancer. Some people, they will change their diet. They still succumb to the condition. Yes, they might have a little time, but they still succumb. So the wisdom is, not only do you change your diet, you need to put something to heal. Now, chemotherapy, as I said, I don't agree, but I have also seen folks being taking low dose of chemotherapy with a proper diet, with proper herbal therapy, with correct supplements, and they come well. Yeah, and vitamin C drips. Oh yes, by the way, for those of you who don't know vitamin C drips, we do that here. It's vitamin C. Doc will tell you about it. But the point I'm making, Doc, people need to, the mindset. There's mindset. I love how the Bible puts it. The Bible says we must be what? Transformed by the renewal mind. Change your mindset, change your diet, change your lifestyle, change those things that brought you to this point. Make new changes, make a new start. Put nutrients and put different food. But you must understand, guys, when there's destruction in the body, healing needs to take place. Healing needs to take place. And sometimes nutrition is not enough to do it. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Okay? You need to have other things to fill the gap. We're gonna look a bit at breast cancer now, Doc.
Okay.
It's a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people are suffering with breast cancer. We see them. We work with them. We have worked with them.
And
Yeah.
we've successfully worked with some.
Yes.
It's always sad when we've successfully worked and then they didn't get the mind change.
Yeah.
Then it becomes quite.
It gives them a free run, so they go back to the way they were before.
Yeah.
And sure enough, a time and a season, and the condition will come back.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, this is the process. I think I have already kind of highlighted what happens. There are changes that happen to the genetic material, the DNA. So it's mutation. Okay. So then, like I mentioned, there are checkpoints and there are regulators. There are things that suppress cancer genes. Okay. So we want to be walking around with our cancer genes switched off. So for some people, they switch them on. Once they're switched on, then the cells, when they say proliferate, they start to multiply without control. Remember, even in your family, you check if you have space before you want to have more kids, isn't it? The cell is supposed to be able to do that. But once the cancer, the tumor suppression gene is affected, then the cells will continue to multiply. And therefore repairs are not happening. The cell is not controlled by the checkpoints anymore. So these allow oncogenes. Oncogenes are when your cells, your cancer genes are switched on. Okay, and basically then what you end up with is cells that are growing out of order, not necessary, not functioning. They're not in a structured way, and you'll see better when we look at the picture of the breast cell.
Yeah, that's it.
Once. Okay.
We kind of discussed this already.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It can spread to other parts of the body. So it starts in let's take breast cancer. So it's starting in the breast. All right. It will start in a defined area and manner. Once it has filled that up, it can then spread to other places close by, and then it can spread through either the blood vessels or the lymphatic system, or by direct flow, so from the breast into the muscles underneath the breast and into the chest cavity. So those are different ways in which it can spread.
Types of breast cancer?
So we have this is the commonest one.
GCIS.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ductal carcinoma in situ. In situ means it's in a certain place. Okay, it's confined to the ducts of the breast, and it has not invaded other tissue. So this is always good. You would prefer to have the cancer confined to a certain place and not having moved. So these are often found when you go and you do your mammogram. We'll talk about the pros and cons of mammogram. As little calcifications. They're difficult to be felt on physical examination, and it's about 10% of the cases of cancer that you.
And that's a
find.
DCIS.
Yeah, a lot of women, these are often found on autopsy. Yes. So on what side is this?
Your left.
Okay, on the left side, you will see what normal cells look like. You see how beautiful they are. There is order. There's a basement membrane, and they all grow, and they've got their space. But look on the right, there's disorder, there's disarray, there's too many cells growing chaotically. This is what DCIS would look like. It's confined. You see what is labeled as C. All right, it's encapsulated and it's confined to an area. So this is not going to harm you in that state. It's going to remain localized. And the reason we say this is that because the minute somebody says, I've got cancer, they can take this thing out of my body, but this is confined. Your body has found a way
to hold it.
So even if you change your lifestyle, this is not going to harm you or kill you in any way. There's nothing to kill you there.
And another thing, but this one is normally detected by mammogram.
Yes. It's an incidental finding.
Yeah.
All right. Then you've got infiltrating. Remember the other one was in situ? You've got infiltrating ductal carcinoma. So it penetrates the duct wall. You will see the picture. It enters the surrounding tissue. This is about 80% of the cases. Okay, when it's entered the surrounding tissue, then there can be a shell of a tough scar-like material around it. So you'll feel the lump. This is why breast examinations are important. Remember the other one, you can't feel anything. It'll just be visible on mammogram. But this one, you can feel it as a lump and you can see it on mammography.
That's a picture right there.
And this is what you see. Remember the other one, when we looked at C, it was all around. It was encapsulated. It was confined. But now you start to see that it's passing through and coming out of that capsule. All right. Remember these pictures because I will speak to them later on. So these are ductal carcinoma. It relates to the ducts. Remember, you've got glands and then the milk passes through. Then you've got lobular carcinoma, which then affects the lobules, not just the ducts. Okay, and it can, the infiltrating one, like we said, will be infiltrating surrounding areas, and then it can project from the capsule. I think the pictures speak much better. So you see it. There's no duct. There's no space there. It's just a case of an infiltrating cancer. All right. So you will also be able to feel this.
Family history. Especially if you have a relative that's got these conditions. We're looking at genetics now. Remember, one of the cause or one of the things that we need to pay attention to is genetics. Okay, so if you got mother, sister, daughters, and stuff like that, pay attention. That is a risk factor coming up to age 40, and so pay attention. If you have that running in the family, there is a good possibility that it's in your gene. Most common in women over 50 years old, but we have seen it's happening much before. I've had folks that's like in their late 20s, 30s who have come. I remember once, I'll share that story later. It's coming just now. We're running out of time. Yeah. Before I go further though, Doc, I see we're running out of time. I want a testimony. Okay. So after this slide here, after this one, we'll ask one of my good friends to do a testimony. Okay, so it's most common in women about over 50 and so, but we are seeing it much younger. Childbearing here, having your first child about 30 years old, and never having children, abortion does not count. It because your body is exposed to certain hormones without the break of the 9 month, that can contribute to cellular change, isn't it? And that can lead to menstrual history, having your first menstrual cycles before 12, pretty much the same thing, because you've been exposed to the changes for much. The last three, menopause occurring after the age of 50, you don't have no menopause. Same thing as the first one, having your child late. Your body has been exposed to this change consistently through your life. Now that 9 month break does break and allow your body.
It can even be 2 years if you're breastfeeding.
If you're breastfeeding, So these are some of the things. At this point, the administrator, I would like to ask my friend Carla if she's there. Carla, are you there? She's going to give you a testimony in regards to how she had encounter with some breast issues. Carla, are you there? Perhaps she needs to be muted. I'm hearing you now, Carla. Go ahead, Carla. We're hearing you.
Okay. Yes. For me, well, I want to say thank you, Jason, for having me. This is it's an unfiltered testimony. I just got up this morning and saw this. Carla, can you give this this testimony? But I said, after all, this is the least that I can do. Well, in 2014, I went to the doctor and sent for a mammogram and ultrasound and all of that. And then I was diagnosed with rare form of calcification, and that was taking up about 7 centimeters of my breast. That was almost half of my breast. So what happened was that I know a friend that knew Jason, and I contacted Jason and I explained the situation to him. So when I went, he gave me some tips to follow, but through this, he still encouraged me to go to the doctor and get my blood test result and everything and follow through. So when I seek a second opinion, and one person told me that I had to take off half of my breast, and then the second person told me that I have to take off all of my breast because it was a 60% chance that this is heading the wrong way. And during this period of time, I was so confused, overwhelmed, frustrated. Like I see my life right in front of me. But Jason assured me, and he said, trust in God. That was my number one thing, and then changed my diet completely. So I followed all those tips, and I changed my diet. I detox. I took sugar out. I took out meat out of my diet. I did a lot of things, and it's not easy. It's hard work, and this has been going on from 2014. So in which time though I was still going to the doctor. I was still doing I didn't do the mammogram because Jason just told me, you know what, it's better you do the blood works and do ultrasound, but doing the mammogram isn't actually too safe, you know, so I avoided that. And the doctor said to me, Carla, if I was you, I would do, if you were my sister or you were my wife, I would take that breast off because it's not in a good condition. I would take it off and it's going to spread. During this time, I have a little panic. I am frustrated. I don't know what to do, but being as I have Jason as my resource, I said, you know what, let me program my mind, renew my mind, and trust in God and change my diet. And what I continue doing though, I was seeing the doctor every 6 months. I would go and do an ultrasound, and during the first 2 times after I was diagnosed, when I went to the doctor and I did the ultrasound, I was told that it has remained the same. There's no changes. So I said, okay, if there's no changes, it didn't grow, that means I'm doing something good because it should escalate according to what the doctor was saying to me. So if there's no change, that means the diet that I'm changing, it's working because it didn't spread. So I continue seeing the doctor every 6 months. I would follow up with ultrasound, my blood works and everything. And then for the last, I think I went in 2018 when I went back, it decreased, and I said, okay, that's positive. Now the doctor looked at me and he said to me, Carla, you're doing something right. And I said, thank you. I'm working with this person called Jason. I told him it was my brother anyways. So anyways, I continued doing what I'm doing. And then I went back last year. I did everything. I did my blood works. I did the ultrasound, and they found nothing. But during the time, what I'm trying to say is that your body tells you things. So during this period of time when I went and I did, and I was diagnosed, I noticed I had lots of back pain. Even in the night I was, hello? Yes, even in the night, I was coughing a lot. My blood pressure was high. I have lots of muscle spasm. I wouldn't sleep at night. I have headaches. My energy was low. I wouldn't use the washroom for, say, for example, maybe not even once a day, like maybe say every 2 days or so. And at first I thought that was good because I never even knew that, to tell you the truth, I was supposed to use the washroom every day. And that was a sign. I never used to drink water. So that was also contributing to what I was going through. But I can recommend Jason. And I'm thankful to God every day for meeting Jason, because if I wasn't following through with all of this, I don't know where I would have been right now. So the testimony is from 2014 until today, 2020, I am clear, and I'm thankful for Jason, and I'm thankful for God. And it's hard work. So it's something that you have to really work hard at. For 3 years, from 2014, 3 years, I never taken any sugar, period. I never had any meat, no dairy product. I stick to my diet. And even the product that I use, I stopped perming my hair. Certain things that I used to put on my skin, I stopped putting it on my skin. And yeah, I'm trying to live a free life from all those chemicals and stuff like that. So detoxing your body is really important. Vitamins to make up for the supplement is very important. Exercise is very important. And I was also told to do massage and bath with Epsom salt. And those things are very important. And fasting is very important. And prayer is very important. And I'm here and I'm free from that. I don't even like to call the name cancer, but yes, I'm here as a testimony, and it's all due to knowing the right person and have proper people around you to encourage you, because when you're going through these things, it can actually take a toll on you. You know, when the doctor tell you, okay, you have to take off your breasts, that can actually mess up your mental state of mind. And when you have somebody around you encouraging you, you can do it. Cancer is not a death sentence. You can get through it by changing your diet, working hard. It didn't come like within a year. It took over time to build up. And if it takes that time to build up, you're not going to get the same result right away. You have to work hard at it. And it took me years, from 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, I'm getting the same result, and it changed. So you just have to work hard, and it's not a death sentence. You just have to be consistent with whatever you're doing. And that's my testimony.
All right, Carla, thank you very much. How is it over there in Canada, Carla? Good?
It's good. It's cold though, but it's good. It's good. It's good. And fresh air and sunlight. And you know, we don't get much of that, especially in the winter time. So the supplements really plays a part. At first, I was thinking, oh my goodness, lots of supplement, but you know what? Your body was depleted, so you have to do what you have to do, and you just have to be consistent and work hard at it. So yes, I'm good. Thanks.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much, Carla. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap up quite fast now. Thanks, Carla. You've said it. Pretty much you've closed our conversation, but we're just gonna add a little bit to it. Breast screening. You know, it's Breast Cancer Month and it's out there. You know, we must go. Women, did you get your breast test done? Did you go and get scanned? Well, look, from the research that's out there, you know, this mammogram is not so great after all. You know, the research is there, it's clear. And so one of the things we like to say to folk is, look, seek a better method in your locality. These are the pros and cons here. You've seen on the left-hand side, mammogram, and then you're looking at thermography, okay? Thermal imaging is available. Type it in on your internet, see the closest one to your home. It is here in South Africa, and I'm praying that God bless us in our center to have one of these, because we really, really want to help folks. And not only does the thermal does breast cancer, it does show you where inflammation is wherever in your body. It's really good because it uses heat and infrared, isn't it? This is a better way. We also, as you can see behind me, well, I don't know if you can see, but behind us, we have our ultrasound here. We can do a scan to see what's going on. So there's other methods out there more than the mammogram. For those of you who have had mammogram, you know this thing is not a nice thing. It is painful, and it
causes trauma to the breast.
Yes.
Number one, through those two heavy plates, and two, it's radiation passing through the breast. I know even before I came into this method of healing in about when I ran a women's wellness center, when I started doing research, because I used to advise my women as per the recommendations to get a mammogram from the age of 50 every 10 years, you're more likely to encourage, especially if you have you've got a genetic predisposition, you will end up, the mammogram will just speed up you getting cancer because it's radiation. So thermography, ultrasound, breast examination.
Yes, which you showed just now. There's a doctor named Dr. McCullough. He showed you at what rate you can induce cancer through mammography if you don't have it and you do it over a period of 10 years, how much more exposure you have to just because of the radiation level that's going through your breast. All right.
So we've said that, one, they're not perfect. Remember, we even said it in the beginning that the normal breast, you sometimes can feel the lumps and it will prick it up. But sometimes they don't show up, or they can, these are false negatives where you go for a mammogram and you don't find anything. But it can also identify an abnormality that looks like a cancer, but it turns out to be normal. So you end up going through a lot of things, a lot of investigations unnecessarily.
Once, this is what I was going to say really quick. I was going to say earlier. In the UK, I think Jonathan and might remember, and Edgar might remember. I was doing a presentation and a young lady came in, and she was just a young lady. She had just been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I think Thomas Jackson was presenting, not me, but I was there, and she was running all over the place trying to find an alternative cure. And I remember, if Edgar remember, we told her, look, don't rush. Let's see what's going on here. The next thing we knew, she had cut off her breast. The next thing we found out, it was false positive. So she didn't even have cancer. The next thing we knew that, well, she didn't make it. It was just like that. It was and she was a young girl. Okay. Really quick, Doc, can you take us through this real quick?
This is just a breast examination. Listen, I know we've shared a lot today because we're running out of time for this year. So we only have 2 presentations. So we wanted to cover as much. If it is information overload, just go back onto the YouTube site and watch it in bits and pieces, okay? We just thought this was important to share. What you want to do is you need to learn your breast. You need to learn your body. Look at the sizes. If you've always grown up and they're not the same size, then you will know that. But if there are any changes to the size and the shape and the color, then you'll know that something is going on. If you see that, then you can go to your doctor. If you find dimpling, where it starts looking like an orange peel, and there's puckering where the nipple draws in, or there's bulging of any type, like I said, any changes to the nipples, any changes, a redness and soreness or a rash or swelling, that's step 1. So just having a look at your breast, and then you can raise your arms and look for the same changes. Okay. This is women doing your own examination. Then you lie down, you put your hand behind your head, and you use each opposite hand to palpate, to feel. You begin at the nipple, you move in larger and larger circles until you reach the outer edge of the breast. You're trying to feel, you don't squeeze it. If you squeeze it like this, you will feel the normal breast tissue and it'll feel like something else. You'll know when there's a mass there as you get used to your breast. And then finally you feel your breast while you're standing up or you're sitting. Still put your hand behind, and don't forget to check also underneath your armpits. This is how you check. The art gloves, I forgot the name, I'll put them on the ladies group that you can buy that help you to do the whole process of palpation. So even when you go to your doctor, because you don't want to go to your doctor every month and have your breast checked, so you can do this at home. Okay. What you should never ignore is if you have any lumps or thickening, unusual swelling, redness and warmth, darkening, any changes that happen and you don't know what it is, don't ignore, don't hide your head in the sand. Just go see your doctor and see what that is all about. Some of the things that we do when we find an abnormality when you go to the doctor, aspiration. This is where we take a needle with a syringe. Literally, we push it in there and we suck it out. A lumpectomy can be done where a part of the lump is, only the lump is taken out, or a mastectomy where you remove your entire breast. We don't recommend sticking needles into cells. Remember we showed that you'd rather have a lumpectomy done. Remember we showed that there's a membrane that covers and keeps everything intact. When you pass a needle through, you create a puncture and you can seed out the cancer, okay? So you would rather have an operation where the whole lump is taken out so that nothing is spilled around, and then that can get sent to the lab to see if indeed it is a cancerous thing. Post-surgery in the hospital setting, this is hospital treatment, by the way, not necessarily what we would offer. Post-surgery, they would recommend chemotherapy, even after lumpectomy, things are taken out, or radiation, or things like that. There are alternatives, which is what we do. Of all of these, a lumpectomy would be something that we say you can go and have it done if that's the route you want to take. Depending on what stage you're at, there are multiple factors that we would individualize that kind of advice that we give to
because there's so much damage done, and
to have to leave it to your body to deal with all of that.
It's just easily remove it and then deal with the root cause, isn't it? Okay. Degenerative disease takes hold on the body and grow when the immune system is depressed or malfunctioning. Therefore, anything that depresses or suppresses the immune system can eventually help lead to cancer or lead to cancer. So one of the things is, all right, this presentation that we're doing, remember, this is a series. It's a lot of information, but it's to create the foundation, because next time we present, we'll be telling you what to do, what you can do to literally prevent it, and if you are exposed to it, what to do to reverse it. One of the things also, Doc, one of the research that was done is not very much received by the medical world, but I strongly recommend female, look at that book, see if you can get your hand on it. It's called Dress to Kill, okay? It talks about how things affect female. Now, I'm not gonna go through everything, but the research that she did was saying that a study that was conducted on over about 4,000 women found that women who do not wear bra have much lower risk of breast cancer. And breast cancer is something new, by the way. Before the bra issue, and in many countries around the world where women don't wear bra, the word breast cancer doesn't even exist. They don't have that. So it's something worth looking into if you get some time. Remember, really quick, phytochemicals, move more back to your plant-based food. It's going to help your system to recover and support you. We're wrapping up, but remember, as I said, this is just to lay the foundation so you know what cancer is, what causes it, and then we kind of focused a little bit on female. All right, but this is not covering the whole thing. It's just creating the platform. More phytochemical. Go back to God's original plan. If you want to know what the original diet is, do some research, study diet and food and how it affects you. Clean your colon. Here at the clinic, I don't know if you can see us, we have this thing. We have an equipment that cleans. I don't know if you can see, but we have this thing. We push it up your rectum and we induce.
It's not as bad as Jason makes it to sound.
Well, it's not bad at all, actually. It's quite good. If it sounds bad, sorry. But do a colon cleanse. We also have one that we sell. You can take it orally. It will clean you from above down, but we also recommend inducing from below. It does even more, a better cleanse. Change your diets, change your lifestyle, do the exercise, do the stuff. But this is just an introduction to our next topic, where we'll be talking about how to do these things in your day-to-day practice and how to eat these food and so on and so forth. Go back to God's plan, new start, make a new start. Pay attention to nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. These are the factors. And remember, always as we go forth, God is in the picture. We are Christians. And so we believe that God is able to do wonderful things in combination with our work. And God is a scientist, by the way, one of the greatest scientists. And for the Bible tells us, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds. Don't leave God out of it. If you're not there yet, fine. Do what you have to do. But remember, God has got a part in it. We're gonna stop there.
Yes.
Anything you want to say, Doc, on your closing comment?
Especially with regards to breast cancer, I really need to say to the women, or anybody, check your mindset, because if you're afraid and you're scared and you're anxious and you're nervous and all of those things, you know, I love to talk about the brain, you are going to be releasing chemicals that suppress your immune system and create a wonderful environment for cancer to thrive. So, I mean, it's not easy to just be a happy-go-lucky when you've been diagnosed with cancer, but you need to remember that disease is an effort done, it's a work done by your body to try and remove conditions that were created by violating the laws of health. Try to find positiveness, you know, a silver lining, and find joy, because a wrong mindset, even with the right kind of diet, will just suppress and will not create the right environment for healing purposes. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Doc. All right, back over to you, admin.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we've got lots of feedback from today. Thank you so much, Jason and Dr. Louisa. There's lots of people saying excellent program, very informative. People are asking for your contact details. I know you have responded in the chat as well. Someone's asking, when will there be a part 2? But before that answer, Olive, someone asked much earlier on in the presentation, what is calcium? What does it mean when you have calcium in the breast tissue, and what can be done about it?
Calcification.
There you go, calcification in the breast.
Calcification is always the hardening of whatever. So look, the quickest way I like to explain this, Sharon, for most of us who understand coconut, a coconut in the shell, in its original state, is just water. Over time, the water become calcified. That's why you're able to get the hard coconut. So if you can just imagine, when somebody says there's calcification inside of here, that means the liquid has turned solid, if that's really quick. That's a quick explanation.
So and the other bit was, what can be done about it?
In regards to, depends, right? Now, if it's calcification, as you know, when there's a calcification, especially in the breast, it becomes rock hard, like a stone. Okay, and if the cells are growing and that thing becomes very heavy, you know what I mean, they might need to cut that thing out to give a better chance. Otherwise, it can grow and become very depressing, very obstructive to how you're able to move around, very painful. So there's things you can do when it's very small, Sharon. There's things you can do when it's very small. You don't need to cut it out then. You can do certain poultices and stuff, but that is a topic that we will be looking at later. This was just to introduce the cancer things, the fundamentals. But you can put poultices on it to break it down and change up your diet and stuff. But when it gets really big and out of control, you know, it becomes hard. But we'll talk more about that. We'll tell them how to do it in our next upcoming presentation.
Okay, thank you for that answer, Jason. I've noticed we've got at least 2 hands raised. I'll take the first one, which I believe was Olive. So Olive, if you wish to unmute, you are free to ask your question. And before we ask any questions, if it's a particular case for any, you know, like if it's a personal question and you need a consultation, it's better if you contact one of the team to deal with that personal question. But yeah, go ahead, Olive.
Sorry, one more thing. Jason, can you just, if possible, to stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, I will not share it if I know how.
At the top somewhere.
Poor shit.
Thank you.
Is it done?
Not yet.
Yes,
sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shirley. And remember, this is live on YouTube, so another reason to keep your question, if it's a personal question and you need a consultation, contact one of the team and that can be arranged. So yes, Olive, go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. When the person's first diagnosed, when they see the doctor, what's the best things that they could, what's the type of questions that they could be asking. What sort of questions should they be asking the medical doctor? Because obviously if the person wants to work with a medical missionary, they would need certain information, they would need to know certain information. So what would be the best questions to be asking the doctors? What information would we need to get from the doctors to share with our medical missionary worker?
All right. So just get the details from your medical doctor, as in, and do try and get it in the medical language, because when the doctors try to explain in layman's terms, sometimes it makes no sense to somebody else. So if they can just write down for a person, this is the cancer that they have, what stage is it at, in terms of their blood results, is there what have they been found? Are their kidneys working and the liver working? You know, gather all that information. Ask for records, because these are your records. You know, the mammogram report, if you've done that, the ultrasound report, the CT scans, the blood tests, and then you'd be able to take it to whoever you'll be working with. But remember, a lot of then the medical missionaries, I don't know about the other courses. On our course, we teach how to read and interpret blood results, but a lot of people will not be able to do that. So even you see how Carla was doing it. She was working with Jason, who's over here, but she was still going to her doctor for the ultrasounds and for monitoring. So that's what you need to be able to do. I don't know if that adequately answers your question, but you need as much of the report so that we know what condition do you have and how far is it in terms of the cancer itself, and how is it affecting other organs, especially your organs of detoxification, your liver and your kidneys.
Excellent. Is that okay, Olive? I think that answered your question.
It does. I'm busy here taking notes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Remember, you can always go back and watch on YouTube. If there's something that you've missed, the presentations will be made available for you. Thank you again, Carla. That was a wonderful testimony. I really saw how God works with you to make you well. So, and you're able to give us that testimony. So it's fantastic. Joyce, I can see you have a hand there.
Oh, hello. Yeah, that was a very good presentation. I want to say thank you. Thank you to Lucille for sending me the link. I nearly missed it, and I'm really grateful. I have a question. So earlier on in the presentation, they did say that if the cancer is localized, it's in a local area, it's good. So if somebody has had the lump removed in the local area, they've done every other test like CT scan, ultrasound, MRI, all the scans, and it's all come back all clear. And the doctors recommend surgery. And then after surgery, they should have chemotherapy and radiotherapy. The person says no. Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Well, I'm tempted to ask you if, after the presentation, what you think is a good thing or a bad thing. Remember, we said that as much cancer is not a localized disease, it's a systemic disease, right? So the doctors even understand this. That's why after the lump, which is the obvious mass, has been taken out, they know that there are a few cancer cells running around. But remember, what they're trying to do with the chemotherapy is to kill those cells. But chemotherapy is not specific to cancer cells. It's going to destroy your digestive cell, all your other cells, actually.
Your white cells.
All your cells, your white blood cells, your immune system. And remember, what did we say? Cancer is a disease of a malfunctioning immune system. So our recommendation from our viewpoint, after you've done a lumpectomy, is you want to boost your immune system so that it's able to deal with whatever is left. Jason was saying I was going to talk about high dose vitamin C. We didn't get a chance, but maybe we'll talk about it the next time. The science behind using high dose vitamin C, because what it does is it's toxic to the cancer cells, yet it boosts your immune cells. So that is a better therapy, way cheaper, less harmful to your own body. So now we've given you advice. Pardon?
Sorry, fantastic. That's really good, because I was going to say that person has had liver test done, kidney, everything is fine. Their guts, their spleen, everything is come back clean. So it seems as if it was just in the local area, and they're on high vitamins as well, as you're recommending. So they said no to the chemotherapy. It's been 10 months now, even though the doctor said, oh, 6 months time, person will come back begging for medication or therapy. Person is doing very well. So I just wanted to be sure that was that a right thing to do in refusing the chemotherapy, because I mean, I've heard a lot about what you're saying, but yours is more in depth, and I think for me, I thought it was a good thing not to take the chemotherapy, especially when all the other areas have come back doing well, like kidney, whatever. The other parts, like the rest of the body is doing well, and it was just a local area. So I'm glad that you've kind of confirmed that. So thank you very much.
A pleasure.
Hi, Sharon. Can I just ask, you just mentioned about vitamin C. Will it be more effective? Does it go along hand in hand with iron, taking iron supplements for it to be more effective, vitamin C?
Oh, when we're talking about high dose vitamin C, we're talking about giving it via drip. You can only take a maximum of 2 grams of vitamin C orally. That's not enough. With a drip vitamin C, we can go up to 100 grams. Remember, we're trying only above 15 grams of vitamin C do you start to kill the cancer cells. So that's what you want to do. It's a drip vitamin C.
Amen.
If you want, there is a way you can get oral as well. Because what I know the liposomal is vitamin C in the capsule form, but they are formulated in a way that your body will be able to absorb it, and it doesn't send you to the toilet. If any one of you take like a tablespoon or 2 of vitamin C, probably 3 times in an hour in some water, you're going to rush to the toilet because your body can't deal with it. So the liposomal is a good alternative. What I do know about, especially in the UK, I don't know about South Africa, but I do. Is that the vitamin C IV is not always easy to access, and it costs a little bit of money. So you can get the liposomal in South Africa. Well, I'm not going to tell you to go nowhere else. If you want it, contact us. That's all I can say. Okay, but in England, get the liposomal if you're not able to access the IV vitamin. In South Africa, we are here. You contact us if you want that.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Someone's asking if you can just spell the liposomal. Just type it up in the chat. Yes, I'm acknowledging somebody's there about to ask a question. Just before you do, remember, we are also talking about prevention as well as remedies. And I don't know if some of you noticed, I nipped out while we were doing the presentation, and there's still a few berries left on my bush. So I got some blackberries there. There's lots of things that we can have in nature that's going to help us to maintain our level of health. So the blackberries, they're still there for the picking. We are getting some good sunshine here. They're also high in antioxidants. They're obviously great for vitamin C. And as you're out there picking, hopefully the sun is still shining, so you'll be absorbing some vitamin D at the same time, and fresh air and exercise. So, hey, it's a great one. So yes, the person who was just saying hello,
Hi.
And liposomal vitamin C is now in the chat.
Yes.
Samson, yes, go ahead.
Yes, hi. Yes, thank you guys again. It's been a brilliant program. It's just such a blessing. I was interested in asking about the vitamin C, where few people had already asked, and then that explained that. Fair enough. Also, what I wanted to ask was, in regards to supplement, they spoke about supplements. Do you think it is better to do the green juices as a supplement rather than take an actual supplement? I know they have whole food vitamin supplements. Can they hear me?
In regards to the question you're asking about taking it through juices, listen, if you can get it in your system, the truth of the matter is, if you remember at a particular point, I was showing the presentation about enervation toxemia. At a point, what really becomes a problem, my sister, is that your body is not, even though in juice form, your body's still not going to be able to assimilate that nutrient properly. Your system is broken. Even though, yes, you're taking away the process of mastication and digestion, but even in juice form, your body is not able to utilize the nutrients as it should. As a matter of fact, and I'm sure many have seen it, it's a better way to get the nutrients. But if your system is broken beyond a certain point, even at that level, you're going to struggle to get the nutrients from it. And it can cause its own toxic load, even though it's juicing.
Right. So veg, mainly it'll be 5 veg, and I use apple as sweetening, not all the time. Thank God, you know, I've not got anything wrong, my husband and I, but we were just thinking about a supplement, and we understand whole food supplements are really good sometimes, but then we thought as the winter sets in, you know, I mean, we do vitamin, like the orange juice, and which is vitamin C, which helps with this coldness. But we was thinking as a supplement, is it better to just get a supplement, which we, you know, I have done in the past and it has been good, or just do the veg, 5 different veg of green juices, you know, and add the apple to it. We have smoothie on occasion because we eat fruits, make a fruit salad, whatever. But we're just thinking whether or not, you know, to do the to maintain the vitamin, like our health, as in just doing a green juice maybe twice a week. Would that be okay? And I know, like, you know, you put it in your mouth, you could gargle, then swallow, you know, in regards to green juice. I just felt like maybe, do you think that will be putting toxicity in our bodies, which don't think so. You know, what do you think?
In general, no. Look, I was just giving you a pro and con kind of situation.
Yeah,
it's a good practice. Even if you're not sick or nothing, it's a good practice to you know, put in your green juice. Some folks do it once a day, twice a week, whatever. It's a good practice. We'll encourage it. And if you're in doubt of the source of the nutrients, for example, you might not know where it's grown and stuff like that, then you can take extra caution by just putting a good multi-supplement in there as well, especially as you move into the winter months. You know, have your vitamin D3 in there as well. But it's a good practice. I'm not discouraging it in no way. I'm saying if you are ill and your system is broken, sometimes the juices can also be overwhelming to your body. But in general, if you're okay, it's a good practice. It's a wonderful practice, actually.
Yeah, sorry, one more thing as well. You know, you showed earlier in this test that you can have done just to test your health. Yeah. Where could we get that from? How could we get?
We'll write it. We'll write the name of the test in on the chat. I know they do it in the UK. I know they do it in South Africa. You just have to look for where it is in your locality. Just type in thermography testing, and you know, it will come up the closest one to you. Yeah. Thank you.
And the thermograph for checking your breasts. Yeah. Where can I go for that as well? Or
that's what I'm putting in the group now. We're gonna put that in.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Right. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So if you're asking a question, we're asking if you can just limit your questions, because obviously there's lots of people that wish to ask, and if you can make your point direct to the point. So there's, I believe it's Joshua and Motzi. So we'll take those 2 hands in that order, Joshua and Motzi, and then there's some questions on the chat, and then we'll come back to the hands.
Yeah, it's Joshua. Thank you for the presentation, which is very, very informative. 2 questions. 1, can men get breast cancer? Number 2, will there be any presentation about prostate cancer? Thank you.
Yes, we all right. I'll answer it back to front, John. We did prostate, we did men's health, but yes, we will definitely be going into prostate cancer as a part of the cancer series. And yes, men can get breast cancer. I didn't look at the stats, but I know it's possible for men to get breast cancer.
If they have gynecomastia, if they have breast tissue, and the more we eat the animal products with their hormone content and using products that are filled with estrogen, then men start to get not just fat, but actually you can feel breast tissue, which can then become cancerous.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Moxie, if you'd like to unmute with your question, please.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for the presentation. It's so powerful. I want to ask you if someone has been done, if he has HER2 cancer, has been done, he has been removed the breast, they have done the chemotherapy for 6 months, and it's not responding. What's your advice? Can she go again for another chemotherapy as they're advising, or is the what do you say the vitamin C supplement, which you said it can be also, can it help her? Thank you.
Where are you based, sir? If you don't mind me asking.
In Mthatha, Eastern Cape in South Africa.
Okay, so you're not very far. We have a lot of people from Mthatha come here. Look, I hear your question. Is it possible for you to contact us so we can give you more information? Because your question is very important, and I think we need to talk off the group because it's a lot of information that's going to go across here. Okay, so please contact us. Our information's on the group there, if you don't mind.
Okay,
I'll be coming to Mthatha probably within the next week or so. So please, you can contact us.
How can I contact you?
Our number is on the group.
Okay.
Chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check
You just
for
go
that.
through the group chat. You'll see it now.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Motsi. Okay, Grace, I acknowledge your hands, but before we take your question, there was one asking about the type of cleanse to do. What type of cleanse would you recommend? Somebody did suggest a colon cleanse in the chat. And yes, we have been doing the lemon cleanse. What else would you suggest, Jason or Dr. Louisa?
Lymphatic. Colon and lymphatic. Colon, liver, lymphatic. Very important. Your organs of elimination, especially the lymphatic system, because that's a part of the immune system. So the lymphatic cleanse is very, very important. But again, Sharon, it's a question that has got great value. But as I said, that is a topic and a wonderful topic that we got in store. They say a good storyteller always leaves his audience wanting more. That is a topic that we have for the next presentation.
Okay, so remember to come back and stay tuned for more information. Okay.
Yes, we will be definitely talking about the different cleanses. We're going to give detailed step-by-step cleanses that you can do before you get diagnosed, if you get diagnosed with whatever. We're going to be doing that. So please, yeah.
For those of us living in North America, is there any particular suggestion you could give or any way we could access any of those cleanse preparations?
Right. If you contact us directly, I hear the questions, but we're also looking at the time. We will be happy to share that information with you. Our website is there. Our numbers are there. We are on WhatsApp. Just send a message. If we don't respond immediately, don't worry. We'll get around to it. We're normally busy, but we'll get around to you. Contact us. Time is running out. We really want to answer your questions. Contact us privately.
And don't worry about the fact that you're based in America. Jason is well traveled. We saw that Carla is from Canada. So he'll be able to direct you whichever country you are to somebody who's there or to some places where you can get whatever it is you need.
Easy.
Okay. Somebody said, when is the next presentation? Next week?
Yes.
Admin, that's an administrative question.
Yes, it's next week.
Yes, it is.
Next week. And Grace, yes, thank you for your patience there. Go ahead, unmute.
Yes. Good evening, and thank you, doctors, for delivering such a wonderful program. Actually, because I have family in Canada that I asked to join us with this program. For myself and my sister, we have been to one of the health clinics, and we spent 10 days there, and it was truly marvelous. It was with Sister Lucille Fifield, and it was wonderful. My sister had really chronic rheumatoid arthritis, and I think it was about 6 days into the program, she was running. And I know that it actually works. And with my diagnosis, I was very overweight. I am losing weight, and I'm sticking to my plant-based regime, and it has been marvelous. My life has changed. I've been walking every day, well, most days, and it is fantastic. So I think I would encourage everyone to come on board and to do this, because it's really marvelous.
Great, thank you so much, sis. We love to hear things like that. To bring folks around, to help to empower them. Take your health in your own hands. Don't just hand it over to your doctor. Look after yourself. Know what to do in time of health. Know what to do in time of sickness. Is a wonderful thing, and that's what our wellness clinic, as the one that you went to, that's what we do. We do 10-day program, 3-day program, 21-day programs, all to do with what you're trying to achieve. And that testimony is a reflection of what we like to hear.
Thank you so much, Grace, for your testimony. Right, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So as we said, part 2 is going to be on next week. And I'm not asking you to just sit there and watch your device for a week, obviously. We have a life to get on with. However, remember the time, invite your friends. If there's anybody that you know, you can even invite your enemies. Because, hey, at the end of the day, we all need help, yeah? And maybe after that, they won't be your enemy afterwards. They'll end up being friends for life. So invite people so that they can tune in and find out the wonders about the truth about cancer. So thank you so much for joining with us today. We still have people just coming in now. I'm still admitting more people in. I'm not wanting to turn anyone away. But Charlene, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Yes. Myself and Alvin, who's on this platform, we actually do classes in the week. And this week, funny enough, we're going to be talking about prostate cancer with essential oils. So this Thursday is on prostate cancer, but this will be like an intro then with Jason and Louisa's when they're going to do their prostate presentation on the Saturday. But if anyone has any questions and so forth, please email Louisa and Jason, which has been in the chat, True Temperance International's website as well. And also announcements, December, we're looking to do a cooking month where we're going to be, every Saturday, we'll have a cooking demo. So presentation and a cooking demo in the month of December. So that's just upcoming events coming up.
Also,
and the recipe book as well.
Shirley?
Yes, Jason?
You can start taking orders for the recipe books, so we can know how much our first print will be before December. I know people are going to want the recipe books, so set up that system so people can put their order down, so we can print and they can get it in time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jason and Louisa. Very informative today. And we look forward to next week, whatever you have in store for us next week. Whichever topic it's going to be next week, we look forward to it.
By Tuesday, we will have a topic together on the posters. So and also for those of you who don't have you're not a part of our WhatsApp group, please leave your details so we can add you or request it so you can hear what we're doing. Oh, by the way, Sharon, permit me to give a quick challenge, yeah? Is that okay?
Of course. How can we forget the challenge?
Before I go, Listen, especially for you guys in the UK, we're moving, and America and Canada, you're moving into winter months. For us in South Africa, we're moving into summer months. And there's mangoes around the corner. Listen, the challenge that we want to give you is this. Listen, one of the research says that in people, almost everyone who's been diagnosed with cancer, there's a deficiency of vitamin D. We are challenging you, a very simple challenge, nothing stressful. Put some money aside and go out and buy a good source. Solgar sell a good brand, and Solgar is in the UK and it's all over the world. Solgar vitamin D3. Don't just get the vitamin D now, get the vitamin D3 and start using it as recommended. Spend time in the sun when you can. The reason why is that the rate of breast cancer goes up in the winter months because of vitamin D deficiency. And it also affects prostate as well. So please, men and women, go and get yourself a good source of vitamin D, capsules or supplements, as well as spend as much time as you can get in the sun. That's your challenge for this week.
And it helps with COVID, by the way.
Big time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason and Louisa.
Edgar's not letting this go, you know. He's just nudging me in the side. He keeps saying, go on, please ask him. Just let us know some kind of introduction as to what's happening next week. He won't let me not ask you. And he's laughing now, as you can imagine. Louisa, Jason, they're silent. Am I muted?
Somebody muted us.
Yes. We want to make it a bit more practical and go into what your detox looks like. I think Jason mentioned that the cleanse, because people were asking us what kind of cleanse do we need to do. So we'll start with that. We'll do your general cleansing, your general re-nourishing, and then go into prostate cancer. But don't hold it against us if we discover that we need to educate people on something else based on what comes up. But that's what we're planning on doing.
But it will be more information in this line.
Yes.
How is that?
Is that all right, Edgar? Okay, he's
We
gonna
just gave you an
thumbs up.
answer without giving you an answer. Hey, Edgar.
Okay, I think we can.
Can I ask a quick question? Basically, regarding your challenge, you said to get vitamin D3. So basically, there's various forms of this vitamin 3. There's a spray form, there's the drops form, there's a tablet form. So basically, I've got the tablet form, but then there's always queries on what IU to take. So I've got 3,000. So what is the, or have you got any recommended brands, or what is the best form to take in D3?
In terms of brand, I don't know now. I haven't been in the UK for a while. But in terms of dosage, IU a day, you can go way up to 10,000 and even more than that. Okay, we've seen that. You can go right up there. All right, but you know, your what you're taking there is kind of just recommended, daily recommended amount. But you can go way higher than that, way higher. The best form, I think.
So if the tablets, so basically.
Go ahead.
No, so I'm saying, so the tablets in here says 3,000 IU. So if you basically take 2 tablets, does that now make 6,000? If I take 3, that makes 9,000. Can you do it that way?
Yes, simple. The best form is normally capsules, from what I understand. But you know, use the source that you have. It's got what it's tested. It's got what it says in there. So use it. You know what I mean? And spend some time in the sun.
Is vitamin D3 also good for ovarian cancer?
It's good for all of the cancers, my sister. All of them.
It supports the immune system.
Because it keeps, it keeps your immune system up. Really. But next week, I think we're going to speak more about this in a way that you have never heard it before. So you're going to get some clean, concise information in terms of supplements and maybe a little bit of dietary stuff, but definitely you're going to get it on supplements. Okay, we'll tell you what it does, how much to take, blah, blah, blah. we're gonna do that.
And these vitamin D supplements are going to be good for you no matter what your complexion, your hue, because yes, obviously if you're paler skinned, you're going to be absorbing more of the sunlight to be able to, for your skin to make the vitamin D. And if you're darker, you're lacking in more, you can't absorb as much. However, whatever color or shade you are, we're all going to need supplements in this country, or you know, where you have dark evenings, very short daylight hours. So yes, it's this is advisable to everybody. I know my work colleagues who are white, they take the supplements as well. Okay, it looks like we have one more.
Sorry, one last question. I think someone's put it in the room as well. A lot of people say when you take D3, you should also take K2 because it absorbs it better. Is that right, or is that not right?
As I said, yeah, that's got some information behind it, my sister. But next week we're gonna give you the ones to take and the catalyst and the support system in terms of how you should combine your supplements. We're gonna give you all of that next week, yeah?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us for yet another information-packed presentation on the TTI Family Health Show. Thank you once again to our presenters and those of you who have unmuted and shared with us your testimonies. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. It's easier if you join the WhatsApp link join the WhatsApp groups via the link that's in the chat. So make a note of that before you come out of Zoom. And yes, if you've put your gender in, because you can't always tell from the name. It could be a wife's putting her husband's name in, and so we put him. He ends up in the ladies group. You know, these things happen.
Sharon.
Yes, Joan.
Yeah, Sharon. You were asking about the fantastic show. Very well done. Loved every single moment of it. You were asking about the best form of vitamin D3 to take in the UK. I think Jason alluded to that.
Yes, someone did ask that, and you did put a response in the chat.
In the chat, Hux D3, and it's 20,000 IUs. So it's Hux HUX D3, 20,000 IUs is one of the best. And he's
Thank you.
in the house. All right.
Thank you very much for that, Joan.
Then quickly about
This will be our last question because we just need to debrief as well.
Yes, I'm taking the Ox D3, and it says only one capsule every 2 weeks. Can it be taken more regular? That's the information on the pack.
What's the strength?
All right, the 20,000 IU. The thing about vitamin D is that it's fat soluble, meaning it can be stored in the body. So what you can always do, what we normally do with our patients, is we check everybody's vitamin D level so that we know what we're starting at and what our target is, and then we're better able to know how much we're going to give them for how long. So if it says once every 2 weeks and you're generally healthy, you don't have deficiencies, you know, it's going to be different for every person depending on, I mean, if you have a level of 6 and normally it's supposed to be 20, clearly you see that you're going to need to take more. Does that make sense? So it's going to be, you need to individualize it. You need to get to know your own numbers to know what is appropriate and what is not.
Okay, also with the vitamin D3, you know, when you take excess amount of vitamin C, you end up going to the toilet. What are the side effects if you take too much vitamin D3?
Not really.
No, you won't feel much because it's fat soluble. It's just going to be stored. The difference with vitamin C is that it's water soluble, so you only take what you need for the day, and there's a limit as to how much you can take because you can't store it. But vitamin D, you can store it in your fat.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Wonderful program. Do appreciate it, guys. Keep up the good work. God bless you all.
God bless you too, sister.
I'm sure, Joan, you can answer that question about where can you get hold of the Hux D3. If you'd like to leave a comment in the chat, that would be appreciated. Family over in South Africa, you're getting tired now. It's a bit late for you. So we don't want to keep you on here for much longer, unless there's one pressing question. If not, we can wrap up for today. Okay, so as we're wrapping up, if there's anyone who just wishes to say goodbye, you can unmute, tell us where you're from, but don't all speak at once, because there is a lot of people on here. Yeah. Feel
Good
free
afternoon. I'm Elsie Henry from New York. Hi, Jason.
I'll say hello to you, Elsie.
How are you doing? How are you doing, Sister Elsie?
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I made contact on your behalf today.
Wow, that's great to hear that you're on. So good.
Thanks for joining us, Elsie.
Thank you. You're
Look forward to
welcome.
seeing you all again next week.
Most certainly.
Thank you for that answer, Joan. Yes, on eBay you can, and you've sent the link. So hopefully the person who was asking about the D3, the Hux D3, the information is there. It's all there in the chat.
Sharon, just YouTube, please.
Thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome. And thank you for those on YouTube for joining us.
How do you do it?
How do you do it again? Is it at the side, on the left-hand side? You click on the arrow going down, I think. I think so. No?
No.
Thank you very much, guys, and God bless.
Thank you, Nafi. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
God bless you too. Take care.
Hey, Natty. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Dog. Hi, Jay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
I
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
my
Thank you,
time
Elizabeth.
at Nkoemane,
Thank you.
and I'll be coming back.
Yes. Nati has been
Thank you,
our
Brother
guest.
Jay,
He's
Siske.
he's
God
known us
bless.
personally. Yes, yes, blessings.
Yeah, this is Timothy from Newport. Thanks very much for the program. I'm looking forward next week because I'm having some problems, and I think I'll speak to one of our brethren, see what information he can give me in the meantime. So thanks for the program once again, and God bless the great work that you're doing. I'm from Newport, and all the blessings to those who took part as well. God bless.
God bless you too, Timothy. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
I want to go to Newport.
Newport is where Maggie's house is.
Anybody else would like to comment, say hello? Don't forget the web addresses that's been put in the chat. I'm not sure if you was able to see it because I know there was quite a few questions or responses or statements in the chat. So hopefully you did manage to see it.
Thanks, Charlene. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Dr. Kamoso.